Good evening everyone, and welcome to this slightly delayed Gundam news. It was a combination of taking a bit longer to finish my SD Gundam Battle Alliance review, and there being more news than expected. With the big news for this week, of course, being the release of the new Witch from Mercury trailer, along with some extra information as well. And in case you haven't seen the trailer yet, I'll have that, of course, linked down below, and you should totally check it out. Not only does it show off some very good new bits of animation, but we also get to hear some voice acting and the opening song done by Yaosobi. And if you're a big fan of the song, you can get the limited edition for 4,400 yen, 35 US. That'll come with a CD, special booklet, and a Yaosobi version high-grade demi trainer and Gundam aerial. The images are unfortunately not yet available, nor is the song list. And I forgot to write down when it is releasing, so it'll be on screen. It was sometime in early November. What we do know then is the background for two of the new characters. The first one being Nika Nanaura, who is voiced by Yume Miyamoto. She's a second-year mechanic from Earth who has taken a big interest in Suleda's Gundam aerial. She's also excellent at what she does, with Choo Choo's custom demi trainer being her crowning achievement. And who is this Choo Choo, you might ask? She's the girl with the drip, the girl with the very unique hairstyle, and also the very unique name. Chuaturi Panlunch, or Choo Choo for short. She's also from Earth, or an Earthian, as they call them in the series, and she hates Spatians who discriminate against Urtians, something that often gets her into fights, so she's definitely gearing up to be a feisty character. And like I just said, her machine is a custom demi trainer that is set to be customized from a last generation demi trainer. And she is voiced by Miyu Tomita. And we also got other confirmed voice actors. Yohei Azakami for Jewel Yaturk, or Jaturk, Natsuki Hanae for Elan Ceres, and Makoto Furukawa for Shadiq Zanelli. And we also got some more Witch from Mercury news on the figure front. The 16th lineup of Gashapon Senshi Forte will be all about G-Witch. For 500 yen a pop for US, you can either get the Gundam Aerial, a mystery machine, the Feroct, the Michaelis, or a pedestal that also comes with the Aerial's shield. And for 5,000 yen, 40 US, you can also get a 10-pack. Also, let me know down below what you think the mystery machine is going to be. At first I thought maybe it was going to be the Lubrith or Lefrith, but since all the other machines are from the main G-Witch anime and not from the prologue, I'm now kind of feeling Gilles de Lanza. Over at the Tamashii Nation store Tokyo then, they'll be holding a G-Witch exhibition from the 15th until October the 2nd. They'll be showing off upcoming figures, a cool diorama, and also panels of the characters, I'm assuming of the life-sized variety. And then our second headline is that Gundam Evolution finally has a launch date on the computer. And it's already in less than 2 weeks. The 21st or the 22nd of September, depending on your time zone. It'll be launching in Japan, Asia, North America, and some regions of Europe. Tell me your game is banned in Belgium because of loot boxes without saying that your game is banned in Belgium because of loot boxes. And if you're also living in one of the affected regions, fear not, because there's always NordVPN to help you out to get around those pesky region locks and give you some extra security while browsing online. And if you use my link down below or the code kkrt, not only will you be getting a sweet discount, but you'll also be supporting the channel. Now, in defense of Gundam Evolution, they did say that they're planning on expanding the region that they're available in, so there is still hope. And in the meantime, there is, of course, NordVPN. Also, 2 days after launch, they'll start selling the Evo coins, which is their premium currency of choice. But putting loot boxes aside for a second, the official release date for the console version is the 1st of December. So this time around, it's the console gamers that are gonna have to wait a little bit on the Gundam game. And for the release of the PC version, they also uploaded an 8-minute mission briefing where they talked about some of the extra things they'll be adding for the release. 4 extra maps for a total of 10, new skins, new animations, new emotes, a season pass with customization items, and 3 new mobile suits. The Unicorn Gundam, because of course, the Zaku 2 melee equipment, which is really just the Dozel custom Zaku, and the Mahiru, another one of those machines nobody saw coming. Nobody expected this thing to be part of the lineup, especially not when you consider the fact that we already have the Turn A Gundam itself, and the fact that we have a brand new Gundam series coming up with a lead Gundam that probably would have made a nice addition to build up hype for both the game and set upcoming anime. But on the other hand, I'm definitely in favor of this unpredictability because what's next? Who knows? Nobody can tell. They're so wild, it could literally be anything. And talking about new units being added in the future, each season new units will be added and each season lasts about 2 months. So it won't be long before we get to see the next batch of whatever gets added to the game. They also announced that there is going to be a deluxe edition that will immediately unlock 5 extra machines, being the 3 that were announced now, the Marseille UC version and the Exia. And then there's also 9 exclusive items, being 4 Japan-themed unit skins, 4 weapon skins, and an ornament. Now, they did give the price in their currency, but as far as I could find, we haven't seen a conversion rate yet, so there's really no telling how expensive this is going to be. And then finally, there was also talk about a tournament being held on the Japanese side, but I couldn't find anything about that tournament in English. More details will be unveiled in October, so I'll keep you updated as for how things go internationally. On the Gunpla front then, we got a giant surprise in the form of the high-grade Universal Century GM Spartan. Probably one of the most badass variations of one of my favorite machines ever. And for 2,420 yen, 17 US, this thing comes filled to the brim with accessories and gimmicks. It comes with a minigun that has an extra magazine that can be mounted on the gun itself or the back skirts, a heat knife with scabbard from the backpack, 2 beam sabers with effect parts, 2 missiles, a left trigger finger hand, a sensor thingy on the backpack that pops up, and a little smoke discharge unit for the side of the head. And even though at first glance it might look like it could be reusing a lot of parts from the GM Sniper 2, when you look closer, everything has these extra little details that really adds a lot of extra character to the thing. So at best, I think this thing is going to be just reusing the joints. And of course, an amazing machine like this sold out in an instant. So I really hope we're going to get a second or even a third round of pre-orders, because I really want one or more. And talking about P-Bandai pre-orders, the Metal Robot Damashii Woundwort was delayed by a day, but pre-orders went live today for our favorite thick thigh mobile suit. And what a beauty it is. At 15,400 yen, around 120 US, this little bunny rabbit is capable of fully transforming without parts forming, and it of course also comes with its signature composite shield booster, which can also transform without parts forming. The only swapping of parts is for the heat blade that can switch between deactive and active. And of course, where there's the Woundwort, there's Woundwort variations. So brace your wallets, people. We're in for a wild ride, and it looks like we're at least getting the Woundwort-Rah. Also, the first round of pre-orders for this thing is releasing in February. Next up then, lottery sales began for the Metal Build Strike Noir Alternative Strike version and the Robot Damashii Gouf and Dodai YS set version anime real type color version. So as I've said before, these things are probably going to be pretty expensive to get your hands on. As for the other gaming news then, in Gundam Battle Operation 2, the Gelgoog Vertex Xantos rises to the occasion. Gundam Breaker Mobile has a step-up campaign for the Siskide in AU colors. The new Gundam and Xi Gundam will be appearing in the Battle Spirits card game. Gundam Area Wars is celebrating its 11th birthday with a special Gundam Mark II Hyakushiki and Zeta Gundam squad. And for a mobile game, that is one hell of an achievement. UC Engage then also got some new stuff. A new gacha event for the ultra rare Char's Custom Zagog and Char himself. A raid battle for a super rare Yazan, and some other events, login bonuses, and upgrade materials. Next up then, as the Gundam Battle Alliance got its first DLC pack, which has a mission from Gundam H and Gundam NT and their respective main machines. The Age Effects with Kyo and the Narrative Gundam C packs with Yona. And last but not least, as part of the Tokyo Game Show, we're getting a huge gaming stream with a lot of information on various Gundam games. And it'll be streamed on YouTube on the 15th from 7:30 until 8:30 p.m. Japanese time. And as you can see on screen, the games they'll be giving more information on are SD Gundam Battle Alliance, G Generation Eternal, UC Engage, Gundam Breaker Mobile, and Battle Operation 2. The last time they had a gaming stream, it was a bit underwhelming, so let's see if they've learned from their mistakes and actually make this one a blast. Who knows, maybe we will finally hear something more about the Steam release of Battle Operation 2. One can only dream. In other news then, the Yoshiyuki Takani art exhibition will also be coming to Nagoya, but unfortunately for us, only from September 22nd to September 26th. But at least Japan is slowly beginning to open up now, so soon we'll be able to attend such things. And there is also a closure for the life-sized new Gundam and Unicorn Gundam, but for different reasons. On the 5th and 6th, a typhoon threatened the new Gundam, so its shows were temporarily suspended, and the Unicorn Gundam will be undergoing some long-term maintenance from October the 3rd all the way to November 24th. So that is unfortunately quite a while. Now, for people who managed to get into Japan during that time, there is talk about a fence being put around the Unicorn Gundam, but I wouldn't be surprised if it's a fence you can just see through and you can still see the Unicorn Gundam while it's under maintenance. And let's be real here, it's probably even cooler to get an image of the Unicorn Gundam while it's under maintenance as opposed to a normal picture you can take whenever. As for the things you could get this week then, on the 6th we got the not quite so glamorous Glitters and Glamours Gigi and Andalucia prize figure, and my opinion of the figure unfortunately didn't change when I saw pictures of the figure out in the wild. As to be expected, the promotional images make the figure look much better than it already is, and in this case that is unfortunately saying something. And yesterday, the high-grade Shenlong Gundam was released ahead of schedule for 1,650 Yen, 12 US, and I've unfortunately already heard some unfortunate things about the jewels or sensor things on the shoulders. So let's quickly move on to the reading material. Aeon started selling a deluxe version of the Kukuru's Dewan's Island theater pamphlet, which, to be honest, looks less like a pamphlet and more like an art book, because it has like official art, commentary, and interviews. I'll have the website to buy it linked down below. And that is already all for the reading material, but that sure as hell won't be the case for the Gundam apparel this week, because boy do we have a lot to unpack here. Bankore went in all guns blazing starting last week Friday with 2 collections. And because September the 2nd is apparently Gouf Day, the first collection that went up for pre-order that day is the Gouf collection. And there's a lot of cool designs, including one with the Gouf's name being written with the heat rod. Now that's smart. You can get those designs on a t-shirt for 3,520 yen, 25 US, a hoodie for 7,700 yen, 60 US, a two-way tote bag for 5,940 yen, 42 US, a fanny pack for 4,400 yen, 35 US, a mug for 2,200 yen, 15 US, an acrylic stand for 1,980 yen, 13 US, and another acrylic stand for 1,430 yen, 11 US. And all of this goofy goodness will be coming your way in October. And in case you're confused about Gouf Day being September the 2nd, it doesn't have to do with the Gouf's model number, but the way that the 2nd of September is pronounced in Japanese. The second collection then is Gundam 00 themed with a folding umbrella for 5,280 yen, 37 US, and then a bunch of items featuring either a Gundam 00 design or the flower in a case that you see in the series. You can get the designs on a t-shirt for 4,070 yen, 30 US, a handkerchief for 1,650 yen, 13 US, a cloth towel for 3,300 yen, 23 US, a string purse for also 3,300 yen, 23 US, a blanket for 4,950 yen, 35 US, a zip pouch for 2,200 yen, 15 US, and a reversible tote bag for 4,180 yen, 30 US. And all of these items are scheduled for a December release. On Tuesday then, we got another 2 collections, both featuring t-shirts that are slated for an October release. For 4,070 yen, 29 US, you can get these so-called nostalgic t-shirts. There's a black one with Amuro and Lala on their new type-induced acid trip, and a white one with the black Tri-Stars and their new DOMs. Or for 3,850 yen, 27 US, you can get one of the MSX Pilot t-shirts, which is a pretty cool design that I think we will see more of in the future. For now though, they're limited to the 2 most popular characters out there, and of course their iconic mobile suits. Amuro Ray and his RX-78 Gundam, and Char and his custom Char custom Zaku 2. And finally then, on the 8th, we got a design that gave me some serious deja vu. The life-sized new Gundam statue collection. Now, I'm 99% certain they were already selling these at the life-sized new Gundam statue, but because they're now also being sold online at Bankore, they're apparently being treated as new items. There's a full color t-shirt for 3,850 yen, 30 US, 2 types of regular t-shirt for 3,300 yen a pop, 23 US, a hoodie for 8,250 yen, 60 US, a cap for 3,850 yen, 30 US, 2 types of tote bag for 2,200 yen a pop, 15 US, an orange or blue towel for 1,760 yen, around 13 US, and 3 types of smaller towel for 880 yen a pop, 6 US. And all of these items will be flying your way in November. And I really kept the best for last. Parco X Gundam. We're getting a huge amount of collaborations that will go on sale on their website, which I'll have linked down below, on the 16th. Honestly, I was originally going to mention all of them here, but I saw a more button at the bottom of the page, and every time I clicked it, it just kept giving more stuff. And it's not just stuff that's releasing on the 16th. On the site, there's also stuff you can already buy right now. And also, unlike Japanese P Bandai or Buncredit things, this website does ship worldwide without the need for a proxy buying service. It's kind of got like a proxy buying service built in, as I understand it. So prepare to knock yourself out and your bank account with a Char or Amuro gaming chair, a Gundam aerial skateboard, this adorable outfit, of which I've already seen quite a bit of fan art popping up, including Salo wearing it and, of course, Garmo wearing it, G-Witch guitar picks, watches, whatever the hell this thing is, and much, much more. And if you buy for 5,000 yen or more, which is $40 or more, you'll be entered in a lottery to win the entry grade RX-78 Parco version. And now let's wrap up this week's Gundam news with the usual polls. 2 weeks ago, Gundam.info wanted to know which side we would join during the Gryps War. And the results are mostly what you'd expect. The Titans came up last with 10.2%, which isn't too bad considering that Axis came in third with 15.7%. But what is really cool is that the Gundam.info writer said that the Titans were his favorite. He even writes that if Camille hadn't awakened to his new type powers, Shirako would have been able to take over the Titans completely, and even the Earth Federation. Give this man a raise. He knows what's up. In second place, then, we have the biggest underdog, Karaba, with 28.1%, and the big winner is, of course, the HGUC with 46.1%. But, as I already said when this poll was going on, Karaba is probably the safer organization of the two to join, with the HGUC taking the full brunt of the Titans early on, and Karaba getting better equipment as time went on, and it also seems that most of you agreed. As for the organization that I would join, obviously I would at first join the Titans, realize they're not really going in the way we would prefer, and then I'd hop over to Karaba or the HGUC, whoever happens to be in the vicinity at the time of desertion. Basically how it went with Tamashii. As for the ongoing poll then, they want to know which one our favorite sub-flight system is. A very good question, but I think they missed one really good option that could have replaced the one that is currently in last place. And that machine is the Setter from Victory Gundam, one of the lesser known subflight systems, but it did still manage to get a respectable 66 votes so far. In third place then we have the Gal Saison, or as most of you probably know it, the subflight system that was used by the Messer. And then we get a really close fight for first place between the Dodai YS and the Base Jabber, with 171 votes and 217 votes respectively. And I very much approve of the Base Jabber being in first place. I also really approve of them using an image of the Base Jabber with the Virulent, which makes it double awesome. The unit then that I think should have been on the list is the Ghoul from Gundam Seed, and of course also Gundam Seed Destiny. But I guess that maybe they wanted to keep this poll limited to just the Universal Century. But whatever the case might be, let me know down below which one is your favorite subflight system, whether it was on the list or not. As for my favorite, I'm gonna have to go with the Base Jabber as an overall favorite, but the Ghoul is definitely a close second. The Base Jabber has that jack of all trades things where it's really good for carrying a mobile suit, but it also has some extra firepower, and if you'd want, you can even use it to transport some stuff just in case you need to do that. The Ghoul then, going by the anime, adds some really good extra mobility to the mobile suit, so that is definitely really cool too. But that has been all for this week's Gundam news. As always, a big thank you to the Patreon supporters. I hope everyone watching has a great evening, and I'll see you all next week with more Gundam news. On time.